Coming up, the presidential primaries are making some changes. And later, local artists celebrate the season with a 50-year-long tradition.
Hawkeyes keep Dan Gable Trophy in Iowa City once again.
Clouds, snow, and rain are headed to Iowa City.
This is DITV News at 8:30. Good morning. We are live on the DailyIowan.com and KRUI 89.7 FM. I'm Ashley Weil. Iowa is no longer the first state in the nation to hold its Democratic caucus. The Democratic National Committee's Rules and Bylaws Committee approved a new calendar on Friday for its presidential nominating process. The goal of this change is designed to give people of color more of a role on the presidential nominating process. Both the Democratic and Republican parties have had Iowa as the first caucus for the national presidential primary since 1972. Republicans, however, are keeping the same schedule, meaning Iowa will still hold the first nominations for the Republican Party. And despite the 2022 general election being behind us, there's still one more race left undecided. In Georgia, incumbent Democrat Raphael Warnock and Republican opponent Herschel Walker remained neck and neck throughout the initial election, and on November 8th, they forced a runoff election to take place tomorrow. For Sharon Lake and the Iowa City Eastside Democrats, this race is not one to be overlooked.
So right now, we're sitting with, there's been 50 Democrats elected and 49 Republicans. So there's one seat still in play.
Lake and the entire Eastside Democrats organization will be calling Georgia voters throughout the day, today and tomorrow, hoping to spread their influence and ideas across the country ahead of this crucial race.
But they need our help in Georgia, so we're going to, mobilize, our volunteers and make sure that they're aware of it and ask them to join the effort because it is so important.
Be sure to stay tuned for the results on this race throughout this week. And universities across Iowa are seeing an increase in Hispanic and Latinx student populations. Enrollment in Hispanic students has increased by 287% from 2000 to 2022. According to a Pew Research survey, the UI has also seen a jump in its Hispanic population from 6.6% in 2020 to 7.1% this year. Some of this growth is due to the overall population of Hispanics in the nation increasing, and the recent uptick has pushed the UI officials to seek more inclusivity and diversity on campus. And the Summer of Arts organization ended the year with their final event for the holiday season. DITV News reporter David Consuelos has more.
The Summer of Arts organization held their annual Holiday Thieves Market to highlight local artists around the Iowa City community and display their artwork for sale. The Holiday Thieves Market is a 50-year tradition in the Iowa City area and is a free fine art show that offers attendees an opportunity to shop for special handmade holiday gifts. Attendees had the opportunity to browse amazing ceramic, fiber, drawing, glass, jewelry, metal, photography, sculpture, and wood items, with many of the participating artists being involved for over 20 years.
I think honestly there is such a wide variety of artists here. It's a great opportunity to get gifts for yourself, gifts for your friends and family for the holidays, get those very unique pieces. But I think it's important to provide an outlet for these artists to be able to show and sell their work.
It's been really cool getting to know some of the other vendors, and I've actually met people who I interact with on social media. They've come and they stopped by and been like, hey, my handle is X, Y, and Z. I follow you, I've commented. It's just really cool to actually meet people. And that's one of the most important things about these things.
The Holiday Thieves Market was the last event for the Summer of Arts organization for the year, and they will return next year with a brand new lineup of new events. From the Holiday Thieves Market, David Consuelos, DITV.
And the sunshine of yesterday has been traded out for some clouds. Johnny, when can we expect to see some sun again for this last week of classes?
Hi, Ashley. Well, the sun is also going to be taking off dead week along with the students, as we will not see much of it this week. Currently, I am live on the river where it is a chilly 30 degrees. Looking at the rest of today, the high is going to reach up to 46 degrees with mostly cloudy skies with the sun popping up every now and then. Tonight, we will drop down to 25, still cloudy, but no snow or rain expected. Tomorrow is a similar story with the high just reaching 40 degrees and clouds dominating the sky throughout the day. Looking at the week ahead, the weather will be mimicking the students' moods. Clouds galore throughout the week, and we'll see some chances of both snow and rain in 3 of the next 5 days. Highs will stay in the mid to low 40s, while lows will remain in the upper 20s. But if you are looking to catch up on sleep, this is some perfect weather to do so. Now back to you in a warm studio, Ashley.
Thanks, Johnny. And across the state, raccoon populations have almost tripled since 2006. The Iowa Department of Natural Resources counted 2,417 raccoons in 2006 in all of its surveys across Iowa's 99 counties. This year, 6,486 raccoons were reported. Many factors are being considered as to why these numbers have increased as much as they have, including a decrease in fur bear trapping license sales, the number of raccoons trapped declining, and less native carnivores and predators of raccoons. The derecho disruption and repairs also impacted their environments. En masse are starting to get less common on the University of Iowa campus, but they're still considered more normalized than before the pandemic. We have Daily Iowa News reporter Krufra Ituk live in the newsroom with more. What is the public's attitude to wearing masks and other hygienic courses of action taken by the CDC?
It greatly varies from person to person, but I spoke with L. Allison Phillips, an associate professor at Iowa State University, and she informed me about two types of norms, descriptive and injunctive norms. To quote Professor Phillips directly,
and they said that descriptive norms are individuals' beliefs about how common a behavior is, and this has definitely increased injunctive norms, and there are individually beliefs about how much they think that others should be doing a behavior. Mask wearing is more common now than before the COVID-19 pandemic, which we can all observe in those around us. And these injunctive norms can be dictated by one's familiarity or history with diseases, social group, and even their political affiliation. And other habits have also increased, including awareness of heightened habits such as washing your hands and staying home when sick. Now let's send it over to DITV Sports with AJ Reisetter.
Iowa men's wrestling welcomed the Iowa State Cyclones yesterday. DITV sports reporter Lucy Friedel has more about the historic rivalry.
Carver Hawkeye Arena was electric yesterday as the Iowa Hawkeyes took down the Iowa State Cyclones 18-15 for their 18th consecutive win over their state rivals. The annual Cy-Hawk Series marked the return of star wrestler Spencer Lee. Lee has not competed at Carver for the last 12 months after battling several knee injuries. However, in front of a sellout crowd, he would make his glorious return and start the Hawks on the right foot. Lee took the first win of the meet, defeating Iowa State's Corey Cababan 13-5.
It was a lot of fun. The fans showed up. I was really appreciative that they, we packed that arena, and it was just, for me, it was very exciting to run into that arena again with fans packed in it.
It was a back-and-forth battle between the two heated rivals. Second-ranked Will Woods narrowly defeated Casey Swiderski 4-2, and the two showed the animosity after the final whistle of their weight category. Tied 15-15, the meet came down to the final match between Tony Cassiope and Sam Schuyler. Cassiope got on the board quickly and continued to dominate against his opponent before securing the victory for the Hawks with a final score of 9-2.
We're putting our best team on the mat. We're getting closer to our lineup. And not only that, they're getting better every day.
The Hawks travel to Chattanooga, Tennessee to take on Chattanooga and will return to Iowa City on January 6th. From Carver Hawkeye Arena, Lucy Friedel, DITV Sports.
Thanks, Lucy. And the Iowa women's basketball team traveled to the Kohl Center to take on the Wisconsin Badgers for their Big Ten opener. Caitlin Clark would lead the team to victory with 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists breaking the record for most career triple-doubles in Big Ten history with 7. Clark continues her dominance as she leads the country in points per game. Iowa also found success from Monica Sinano as she bounced back from her 5-point game against NC State and finished this game with 18 points and 8 rebounds. And newcomer Molly Davis recorded a season high of 13 points, shooting a perfect 5 for 5 from the floor and 3 for 3 from three-point range. The Hawks will return to Iowa City on Wednesday to host Iowa State for another edition of the Cy-Hawk Series. And the Hawkeye football team will have a rematch of last year's Citrus Bowl. Iowa accepted an invitation to the Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl in Nashville to take on the Kentucky Wildcats. Last year when these two met in Orlando, the Hawkeyes would fall short of victory, losing 20-17. But this year it will be two entirely different squads matching up. Iowa has currently lost 2 wide receivers to the transfer portal, along with running back Gavin Williams and backup quarterback Alex Padilla. And Coach Ferentz has talked about how the transfer portal has led to unprecedented times.
The roster is in a process of shifting, probably like every college football program in America right now. These are uncharted times, certainly, with some of the new things that are going on in college football. And we're really no different.
Also be without starting quarterback Spencer Petras, as his injury from Black Friday's game against Nebraska will require a season-ending injury. Iowa will look towards backups Joey Labus and Carson May to be the signal callers in Nashville, despite neither one of them having a single pass attempt in the NCAA.
We'll let those guys work the next 4 weeks and see how they do. We were on the field yesterday and both did some good things, but obviously we got some work to do with both guys. The good news is we have 4 weeks to get that done.
Ferentz will be coaching off against a former Hawkeye, as Kentucky's coach Mark Stoops played for the Hawkeyes from 1986 to 1989. The game will take place New Year's Eve at 11 a.m. Central Time. And moving around to other parts of Big Ten football, 2 teams will represent the Big Ten in the college football playoffs, as both the Michigan Wolverines and the Ohio State Buckeyes will get their shot to play for a national title. Iowa would fall in each of their games against these 2 teams, losing 27-17 against Michigan and 54-10 against Ohio State. Michigan will take on the number 3 ranked TCU Horned Frogs, while Ohio State will battle it out against the defending national champions in the number 1 ranked Georgia Bulldogs. And the Iowa men's basketball team will have the bright light shining on them tomorrow as they get ready to take on the number 17 ranked Duke Blue Devils in Madison Square Gardens. The Hawks are looking to continue their dominance over the ACC after they beat the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets a little under a week ago. But if Iowa wants to knock off the Blue Devils, it will come down to star forward Chris Murray and if he can continue his otherworldly play. Murray became the first Power 5 player to score 30 points, grab 20 rebounds, and knock down at least 4 3-pointers since Kevin Durant did so back in 2007.
The other thing is, a lot of guys can get 30, but very few people are going to get 20. Most guys that are getting 30 aren't rebounding. So I think that's impressive.
This is Duke's first season without the legendary Coach K, and it will be interesting to see the Blue Devils under a new regime. Tip-off will begin at 8:30 p.m. And the Iowa women's swim and dive team capped off their Hawkeye Invitational Saturday night at the Rec Center, finishing in 4th place with 624.5 points. The Hawkeyes had numerous top performances throughout the weekend, but it was the depth of the other squads that carried them past Iowa. The Hawks' Scarlett Martin won the 100 butterfly event, but Iowa only had 1 other swimmer in the top 8. And in the 3-meter diving event, Michaela Hughbanks would win the event, but Rutgers had 4 divers in the top 8, which outscored all of Iowa's top performers. The Hawkeye swim and dive team will be back in action Friday when they host Iowa State for the Corn Cy-Hawk Series. Come back Wednesday for all the latest on everything Hawkeye sports. And be sure to check out the Daily Iowan website for updates posted throughout the week. Back to you, Ashley.
Thanks, AJ. And recently, an artifact was found in the Mississippi River, part of a fossilized jawbone with a tooth that experts believe it's from an extinct lion species was found. A Mississippi resident came across the fossil when he saw something sticking out of the sandbar in late October. Experts have now confirmed that it comes from a large American lion, which went extinct roughly 11,000 years ago during the Ice Age. The lion was a larger version of the African lion and was about 4 feet tall and 5 to 8 feet long. This is one of 3 fossils from this lion that have been found in the Mississippi. Thank you for tuning in to DITV News and listening to KRUI 89.7 FM. Be sure to head over to thedailyiowan.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday. And check out more of our content on dailyiowan.com/DITV. For DITV News, I'm Ashley Weil. Have a great day.